Duolingo, the most downloaded education app in the world, saw its users more than double in March, earning it a top spot on CNBC's Disruptor 50 list for the third year in a row. Joining us now is Duolingo CEO Luis von Ahn. Luis, thanks for joining us. Give us a little more color, if you could, about what you saw over the past few months as America went into lockdown.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Well, we saw it not just in the U.S., we saw it in pretty much every country in the world, starting with China. As soon as a country goes into lockdown, we would see our traffic nearly double. It's a lot of times it's because either kids have to stay at school and teachers, get them to practice their language using Duolingo, or adults who, are trying to use this time to improve their lives. So we're seeing it in, pretty much every country. And in some of the countries where the lockdown has ended, actually the traffic remains elevated. So people stick with the habit, which we're very happy with.
How is the app monetized, Luis?
Good question. So the app is free, but we do have ads at the end of the lesson. And if you want to turn off the ads, you can also pay a subscription. So it's very similar to Spotify, where you can either have the free version or with ads, or the paid version without ads.
I actually wanted to finally ask you, Luis, something about yourself. We've been obviously shining the spotlight on diversity in business and the lack thereof, and you are, from Guatemala. I'm wondering what your experience was in terms of raising money in a primarily white venture capital dominated world, and whether you found that there was an opportunity gap there.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Guatemala, and in fact, that's probably the reason I started Duolingo. It's because in poor countries like Guatemala, a lot of people want to learn English. Knowledge of English really can double people's income potential. So that's why I started Duolingo. I personally have been lucky that I've had it hasn't been that hard for us to raise money. I think in my particular case, I'm pretty white looking, so I think that has helped. I would say. So I have not personally experienced the problem, but it is. I definitely see it when I'm around in meetings with other companies that our investors invest in. Is mostly white men.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us, Luis, and congrats on making the list again.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Good to see you.